Station in the streets. Hey, y'all. Streetnerdz Radio. Yeah. With DJ Guess Who.
Yo. Streetnerdz Radio, the number one station in the streets. Man, we it's a good day. It's Wednesday. It was hot as hell today.
It's nice.
It was nice. We got a special guest in the building. For a lot of y'all who don't know who this person is, we're going to let him introduce himself.
My name is Kain.
And he's like, look, I'm going to give him his accolades. If y'all know who he is, it's somebody, if you in the industry or if you do music or you branding or you just like some good old shit talk. You get what I'm saying? This the man that you need to tap into on Twitter, Instagram.
That's what's up.
This the man. So for the people who ain't too familiar with you, let's give him a rundown who Kevin Kain is. Where you come from?
I'm just an old nigga, man, just trying to make some money. Through parties in college, ended up owning a nightclub in college. Bought another one with some partners, and stayed long enough to get a master's degree. Figured I'd come out here and do something righteous for my life, get a decent job and shit like that. And what I was going for got put on hold because of 9/11. Ran into Francois and Alvin 3D Productions at a spot they was running. It was 2001. And pretty much told them get down or lay down type shit. Yeah, I had a pocket.
You strong-armed?
And they know this story too. But I had a pocket full of money. I was just gonna come in and tear shit up on some promotion shit. Mm-hmm. And instead we became friends. I mean, to be honest about it, Alvin told me fuck off.
The first time you met him?
Yeah, he pretty much was like, who the fuck are you? The white gives a fuck. And then ended up bumping into Francois at a chick house. He was there with one roommate. I was there with the other. We ended up coming out of the bedrooms at the same time, sat on the couch, had a conversation, and I became a part of 3 Deep.
And then it's history.
Yeah, man, just hella clubs, hella parties.
So 3 Deep was here before you got here.
Yeah.
And what were they doing at that time?
So they were doing Menage a Trois at La Rumba. They still had some shows they was doing at the Fox Theater. They were working with House of Blues Concerts, which is now pretty much AEG.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I mean, they was running the hip hop scene as far as shows and concerts and parties. Because if you anybody that was around back then knows, like, we was partying out of like Chinese food restaurants and
here.
Yeah, 2001, 2002. There wasn't no real clubs, bro. Like, we was in bars, maybe a bar, but it was mostly like little restaurants we get.
Why would you say that was the problem? Why wouldn't we got establishments?
Well, it's not that we didn't have establishment. Casbah was there, but it was for the older demographic.
Mr. A's,
yeah,
stuff
Mr.
like
A's
that.
There, M&D's, all that stuff was still was around, but nothing that was young, trendy. And Francois and Alvin pretty much had it sewed up besides Mixmaster Mike and the Fab Five. Mm-hmm. Those two groups really had everything done. Mixmaster Mike was like real life OG mentor. Like, I would call him randomly from like school, like, what do I do with this? Because I didn't know nothing about club shit. I was just kind of a popular nigga by default. Played a little ball and shit. So that was it. I didn't know what the fuck. Bro, I was a Jesus freak. Wasn't drinking, no smoking, no nothing. I didn't have my first drink until I was like 24. I was 18.
What was it?
Hennessy.
Sheesh. And then you go straight to Hennessy.
Straight to Hennessy, and I ain't touched that shit since the 90s.
Man, that shit's crazy. So then we get to 3 Deep. Y'all get going. What was the first event that you would say you was a part of?
Menage a Trois. So when I got with them, they were still doing Menage a Trois. I kind of came up with an idea to monetize the dress code. So anybody got a dress code, we hit them with an extra $10, blah, 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 tennis shoes, jeans. This is during a time where everybody wanted to be really dressed up. Like, you wanted people to dress better. No hats, all that kind of shit was still was just starting. And there was no bottle service at the time. So you dealing with everybody on the same level. There's no separation of, I'm popping bottles so I can wear this, I can wear that. It wasn't happening. You pay the extra money outside and you get in. And then we took it to Brown Sugar. And after Brown Sugar, that was about 2003. After Brown Sugar, I mean, we was doing some other spots, Baja Beach Club and all kinds of stuff, Jimmy's. And then All-Star Weekend talk started. It's about 2004. We landed soiree at what is now Bar Standard. It was called Safari back then. And we were doing Reggae on the Roof. We had started in 2004 at Reggae on the Roof at Vinyl. All-Star Weekend hit, and I mean, because I know coming up, Reggae on the Roof was it. Yeah.
I remember we would go to the Let Out. Mm-hmm. The Let Out was just as cracking, just as cracking as the actual event. During those times, what would you say that the culture was out here?
I would say that there's a lot of separation now. Like like I feel like we there's a lot. Actually, let me not call it separation because that's the opposite of what I mean. There's a lot more intermingling now. It was dead ass black and white. Then like black people did black shit. We didn't go to them white spots. And then around after All-Star Weekend, we started going to spots like 5 Degrees and Sweet 200 and this shit like that. And those owners started to recognize us from all of Regis's club, Vinyl, Bar Standard, the church. So, I mean, All-Star Weekend, we did 9 parties. I mean, we did them all. We did TNT, we did Shaq, we did Ludacris, who was like the biggest thing in the world at the time. We did 2 parties with Diddy. Like, we did everything.
How did that come about where it was 3 Deep became the go-to for the hip-hop culture?
It was just a process of like natural evolving, pretty much. Like, the more we stayed in the business, the more we learned, the more we created, the more we started to like produce. Then we took more chances. Then All-Star Weekend just landed in our lap. I don't think any of the 3 of us, me, Francois, or Alvin, would even still be in this business had it not been for All-Star Weekend. That really took us off. I mean, all the connections we made with any management or any artists or anything like that, these people are still in the music business. Hip hop has not aged out yet.
Right.
Like, these old niggas that are like myself, that are managing young artists now, they was managing artists back then. They still in the game. So since it hasn't aged out, that's why I always find it interesting when somebody say, "Oh, well, Kev, like y'all old and shit." Like, nigga, where's the cap at? Like, where's the ceiling? It's untested. Hip hop is a young genre.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You work so hard to a certain point where your age don't even matter.
It don't matter. Like, I mean, look at guys like AG in Atlanta. He started off with 112, with the club 112. Diddy named the group after the club because he saw him there. AG now got Compound, the Dome, do shit all over. He got QC, do everything. He's all over the place, and he was doing this shit before I was. And
that would be one of the people that you would say that you'd be like, that's that.
Oh God, he's a god in the game. He's a god in the game.
And so for a lot of people, how did the Chaos 107.5 connection come? Or for a lot of artists, I think a gem that you dropped is like with AEG and like Live Nation and shit like that. They don't understand that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Is that how y'all got with Chaos 107.5, or how did the Chaos 107.5 thing happen?
Chaos 107.5 started with doing the remote for the Thursdays at Reggae on the Roof when we was at Vinyl. So they would pull the van up every Thursday. We called it like a ladies' night. We do like 2-for-1 Long Island's till 11 or some shit. And we'd pay, like, I think it was like $1,000, $1,100 or some shit for the whole package. We get radio ads and everything, fill the place up, make money. And then they started wanting to be a little closer, like, hey guys, you guys are over here winning. Let us come with you to your next spot, to your next spot, to your next spot. So it just developed over time. The people that were at KS then are definitely not at KS now, but transitioning from one group of people to the next, to the next, to the next, they never stop fucking with us.
So how do you feel about Denver radio? You've been to a lot. I know you been to a lot of places.
Yeah, it's trash.
Have you ain't never like told them like, hey, this is y'all kind of whack?
Absolutely, 100%. That's why I can say it now and with no impunity. Like, they know they trash. And the thing is, it's not necessarily their fault because they're held down by these conglomerates who have these algorithms, and that's why you hear, if you turn on the radio now, turn it off, wait 45 minutes, turn it back on, there's like a good chance you're going to hear the same song you just turned off.
Correct.
That's because they have a list of songs that they believe are going to be the most capturing, and it has nothing to do with the actual marketplace. It has nothing to do with what you and I like, the new shit we heard out there. You would think they'd be on that shit ASAP. No, because that algorithm tells them that the majority of their listeners fit in a different demographic. That's why KS175 used to be hip hop and R&B. Then it greatest music, best music, whatever. Like, they keep changing the tagline because it's all dependent upon what the algorithm says. And they've had like 5-6 owners, so it's always ever changing. I remember this last time when they were under Intercom. Mm-hmm. They didn't even have turntables in the building, bro. Like, they didn't have nothing. They gave them nothing. And now things have changed again. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but KS175 is no longer locally ran at all. This happened 2 weeks ago. The PD was let go. They let go of his boss. And now Berman is running it from San Diego along with 5 other markets. So
KS175 is not even town ran. So with that door being open, do you think it's ever possible for a radio station to ever come up from the town? You see 104 trying to do their thing. You think it's possible within this market?
No, I don't. I think in this market, the more cars that come out with Sirius XM built in, the less you won't have people listening to local radio. I think the guys or the women that come up with a method of streaming directly to a car radio are going to be the winners.
Stream directly to the car radio. Okay.
That's what it is. Like, think about it for a minute. The majority of people work some kind of job where they are traveling to work between the hours of 6 and 9 a.m. And they're traveling from work between the hours of 4 and 7 p.m. That's your best time in radio. What are they doing? They're in the fucking whip.
Driving.
They're in the whip. Now, you got some gigs where somebody sit at their cubicle or whatever, and they can turn on their radio, like turn some shit on there. They're not turning on the radio. They streaming from their computer or streaming from their phone. So the means in which radio was successful before, those things aren't really happening no more. Like, I want you to imagine you getting a rental car. You not looking for a radio station? You putting it on Hip Hop Nation.
Yeah.
Shade 4-5.
YouTube podcast.
I mean, Kevin Hart, Laugh Out Loud. Like, you can hear everything from sports, talk, politics, everything is right there.
Yeah. So, speaking about radio on KS175 and them not even being ran from the town, to me, elephant in the room, I think for a lot of people in the city is Summer Jam.
Yeah.
A lot of people will speculate and say that the Summer Jam was canceled because the baby made some unflattering remarks.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I feel a way about it. I feel like his last remark was crazy, but I feel like they dragging my boy. How you feel?
So I'm gonna say it. I got to be careful with this one. Just because of my connection with AEG, Summer Jam was only Summer Jam in name. Make sure I didn't fuck myself up with that. Yeah, okay. Summer Jam was only Summer Jam in name. KS175 didn't book that show.
Do they book any Summer Jam?
Yes. Typically, Summer Jam is booked through the Phoenix Group. Phoenix Group has a way of manipulating record companies into blackout dates, spot dates, where it's like, okay, Kendrick Lamar, you got to do bop, 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 bop for the label. So that brings its price down to damn near nothing, affordable for whatever. Do Denver Summer Jam, do LA Summer Jam, do blah, blah, blah. So that's why you always have like either a super headliner at the top of it, a Chris Brown, somebody at the top of it. That's like, damn, they spent that much money. No, they didn't. This is through the label. In this case, the Phoenix Group was left out. Somebody booked this show, went to KS and said, do you want to make it your Summer Jam? They said yes, to trade on ads, advertising, this, that, and the other. And long story short, without telling you that you were correct,
the baby fucked up.
He fucked up. But I will say this, had some other circumstances been different, I don't believe that show would have been canceled.
then the question is, people. So Summer Jam. My question is, is that why Summer Jam be so short with the artists? A couple songs.
Yeah.
Is it because they could get it at the discount?
Yeah, I mean the thing is you're doing it in conjunction with the label. Label is a rapist, so you're gonna go out there. You're gonna do. Do you remember when Kendrick Lamar was here for Summer Jam?
Yeah.
Do you remember how unenthused he was?
Hell yeah! It seemed like every artist who come to Summer Jam, except for the openers, be less enthused about being at our Summer Jam. Yeah. And because I figured when Summer Jam comes, why ain't I remember a long time ago, KS 107.5 would even have some of the artists come up to the radio station.
Yeah.
Now it don't seem like you can't get an interview with one of them.
You're fucking with their money. Their money is based on performances. Their money is based on shows. So now they out here doing a show for
the cheap. They like, why should I do it? And then, what's up with AP? Because a lot of people are only going for AP.
I mean, AP
is that something in the works? Is there something in the works for AP?
I mean, there's always something in the works for AP. AP's a genius, bro. Like that motherfucker works harder in music than any other artist I've ever seen in the state of Colorado. That nigga's always in the motherfucking lab every day, all day, focused. Period. So I mean, without even speculating, I can say yes. I know for sure he's working on something.
Do you think that moving forward with KS 107.5 not being ran into town, that there would be another Summer Jam?
Yeah, of course.
Would it still be KS 107.5?
Yeah. It'll see. The thing is that's a seamless thing for us, right? Mm-hmm. So as a consumer, we're not going to see all the behind the scenes shit. So absolutely it will. It's just that decision will be made by somebody else. They'll do it through the Phoenix Group. The thing is, the shit was weird this year because of COVID and all that shit. So they just said yes. They weren't going to have a Summer Jam. There wasn't going to be one, and they got reached out to.
Damn. Okay.
And said, yeah, we'll call it the KS 175 Summer Jam.
Why would I not?
Right. So when ticket sales were lackluster, they were kind of shocked. But there's a rule in the concert and show business about staging somebody up, right? So the last time the baby was out here, he did Mission Ballroom. It's a 4,000 seater.
Sold out?
Yeah, sold out. So you can't take somebody from a 4,000 seater and expect them to just hop into an 18,000 seater and do the numbers. You can't. That's impossible. And and the thing is, I know the baby's lit. He's hot. Everybody's on him. Everybody knows him. But that's not necessarily how it works. The way it works is you have people that listen to music, and then some of those people go to shows. Not all of them. How many artists have you listened to their music and you ain't never been to their show?
A lot.
So you take that small portion of people that go to the first show, they'll probably go to the next show, along with a few other people that heard. Then you stage them up again and again and again. You got to go up the ladder. Instead, they right here with the baby tried to take him to the biggest show in the city.
Not gonna work.
Didn't work. So I can't even fucking say the shit because I don't want to talk too much. But at the end of the day, I believe that it had less to do with the baby than KS 107.5 wants us to believe.
Okay. And so now, as far as the town music is concerned, why? Of course, I would feel like your answer would be because we don't have the market. Is that why you feel like an artist wouldn't be able to headline something like that from the city?
I think an artist from the city could headline something like that. We just don't have a breakout yet. And it has nothing to do with talent, has nothing to do with branding, has everything to do with the city we live in. It's just not as much support as other places, and maybe a lot of that has to do with the size of the African American population out here. But at the same time, like, there are other places that have a small African American population and still do numbers. So maybe it is just the cultivation of the music within the city. Maybe we don't share it enough. We don't treat it well enough. We don't listen to it enough. I know guys in other places that only listen to local. Only listen to their guys. Only listen to the boys they can bump into on the block. Out here, that don't happen. They'd rather listen to some trash nigga just because the homegirl listened to him and they think that that's some trendy shit, and Denver is kind of lacking in its own trends.
What would you say the sound is?
I don't think that we have one. I don't. I think that we have a West Coast vibe, but I don't think there is a individual like we can pinpoint Atlanta shit. We can pinpoint Omaha, Nebraska shit. We can pinpoint Florida. We can pinpoint Texas. We can pinpoint so many places. We can pinpoint fucking Arizona now. I don't know that we can pinpoint Denver yet.
And you feel like there's no artist as of yet what artist do you say has the potential to give us that breakthrough?
AP.
And what do you think that he would need from the city to support that?
Much more love. The thing is nobody's walking around talking about AP garbage. Ain't nobody walking around talking about AP basic. Everybody that listens to AP music is impressed with AP. But are they talking about him the way they talk about the baby? And I personally think the baby is on the lower end on the talent side. I think that I think he caught a wave and he rode it. And I think eventually that wave was going to end anyway. If we look at somebody like Lil Baby, I think that he has so much charisma just in his music. The nigga ain't got no character though. Like, the nigga bland in the motherfucker.
Yeah.
But at least in his music, you can feel him. You can feel there's something there. Like he give a fuck about some shit. He's seen some shit. I don't get that same vibe from the baby. However, I think AP and Lil Baby are similar in that these niggas can rap about anything.
Yeah, I've been in sessions with AP and they've just been out the blue.
Anything, bro. Like the things that we might think are corny when we write them down, that nigga will spit that shit and it'll sound like music for real. You know what I'm saying? So if there is a comparison with, respectfully, I would say Lil Baby and AP are very, very similar in the fact that they are extremely talented when it comes to being lyricists and delivering a message from their chest.
So I know in the early part of the conversation, you alluded to managing artists. Have you managed artists in the town, and do you manage any artists right now?
I have. I've managed. I'm not gonna mention the first ones, but there's a young lady that I managed named Ayanla. She is just a female vocalist. I don't like to box her up, but I mean her voice is butter. It's ridiculous. And I got a hold of her when she was 17. She's 19 now, and I'm telling you, she's the most talented vocalist I've ever heard come out of the city. But there's no pressure toward her developing a music career. She just loves music. She doesn't care about making no money on it, none of that shit. She just found the talent, plays a couple instruments, figured it out, and just wants to be surrounded by music.
She writes her own music?
Writes it all, plays it all, produces it all.
That's a talent.
She's ill.
So now, a question that a fan wanted to know is there really a such thing in the town as the blacklist?
Yes.
And who controls the blacklist? Are you putting people on the blacklist?
Can't know. How the fuck am I do that?
Is it really all black people on the blacklist? Or is it just a list of fuck ups?
No, it's not all black people on the blacklist. That list is actually called the Nuisance and Abatement List. It's held at the Webb Building downtown Denver. Police can try to get people put on that list. Excise and License can put people on that list for being a nuisance to the community, to the area. And they base that upon typically violence. If there's some type of violence around your business, your performers, your promoters, but all of them are not black. I'm thinking of someone who used to be on that list, owned some clubs in Denver, had enough money to tell them to go fuck theyself for years, and then they just took him off.
So is that if you got enough money to just do your own shit, and not give a fuck?
That's all it's about. It's all about money.
Do they tell promoters the shit like you can't throw this event?
No. No, they insinuate that you shouldn't throw the event, but they don't even talk to the promoters. They don't talk to promoters.
They just talk to the venue.
They talk to the venue, and they go in. Imagine you got a venue and you rely on your police to keep your place safe. You got them working off duty, and they come up to you and say, hey, if Lil such and such got that show next week, I don't know if we're going to work it. It's a really bad idea. And you got these police in front of you. Mm-hmm. And you just running a business, and that pressure, man, it just causes them to cave. And a big place that happens often at is like Cervantes, for example. As an example, anytime Cervantes puts out somebody local, somebody known, I mean, Nipsey even went through the shit. You know what I'm saying? So
I could just imagine.
Oh yeah, and they make it very clear that this is dangerous. It's a bad idea. We don't think you know who you're dealing with. You shouldn't do this. Da 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 da. And so most of the time they're talking to white people, and in talking to those white people, they don't want no smoke with the police, so they drop the show.
Is there a way that you can? Is there? How do you get off the list?
You gotta get a lawyer. Get a lawyer, get somebody that can talk good, go in there, ask why you're on the list, and then threaten to sue. You're impeding my ability to make money. That is illegal to do if you don't have righteous cause. If you're slandering my name, you go to the venue, you slandering my name, I can sue you for that shit. And it's just conducting your business like a business. If somebody tried to fuck up your business, you had a dry cleaners, what would you do? You sue them. So you do the same shit with the music. Like if you feel like you're being wronged for real, mm-hmm. put your money where your mouth is, collect that check.
Hell yeah. So do you feel like when you say it like that, I feel like a lot of the promoters here lack business.
They do. This promotion thing always starts off as a hustle, right? This is just as throwing parties. We think we cool niggas, blah 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 blah. So it doesn't really start off as a business. Nobody writes a business plan to become a promoter and is successful that way. That's not how it starts. You start off by throwing a little gig, doing a little house party or something. Maybe you have a birthday party and you did something creative and people say, ooh, you should do that shit again. So you try it again. It works. And you keep it moving and you try to get in the club, whatever. It works. Then you keep it moving. But it's not designed from the beginning as a business. So when you get to the point where you're paying taxes, like for real, you got an accountant, you got a lawyer.
Yeah, because you don't want to go to jail like Wesley.
Hey, man, when you're doing that shit,
yeah,
that's when you have a business, and that's when you can maneuver very differently. Even when they don't want to respect you, they have to. That talk behind your back, it'll happen regardless. But if you're really trying to get something done where there are liquor licenses, you have to conduct it like a business. Otherwise, you're short-lived. The owner could toss you out, take your crowd. Easiest thing in the world to do. Easy. Like, hey, listen, this isn't working out. I'm sorry. We're going to go in a different direction. They ain't got to give you nothing because you ain't got no paperwork. You ain't taking no operating agreement. You ain't taking a contract where that basically tells him he cannot, if you leave, he cannot play XYZ artist, book XYZ DJ. Like, I write my shit up immaculately now. They look at it. They look at it like, are you serious? Fucking right, I'm serious. Dead ass. If I leave, they coming with me.
How many venues? You said when you talked to Alvin the first time, he told you to fuck off.
Yeah.
How many venues told you that in the city, and then came double back?
You
ain't got to put a name on it, but
in the beginning, the interesting thing is club owners and promoters are very similar in character type of people. We got it covered. We think we got it covered, right? Problem is when they realize they don't on the ownership side, they realize they don't have it covered. That's when they come knocking at the door again.
Right.
So that happened often. It doesn't happen anymore. I don't really seek out clubs anymore. I'm buying these days. Ever since Purple Martini, Dorchester, my goal is to just buy. I might go back and do some things here and there just to keep revenue coming in, keep my name on the street. But I'm tired of giving the other motherfuckers money.
So now let's talk about the fun shit. The white party coming up. And
they don't appreciate you.
The venues?
The venues, they don't.
I could tell.
They don't.
I could tell.
Listen, man, I done put millions in some people's pockets and have watched them turn around and talk about me like a dog, bro.
Is that part of the business, or do you think it's something else?
I think it's this.
Your skin color.
Yeah.
And I've always felt that about the town, that I feel like the people who hold it, that's why I try to promote, like, if you want to do a show or you want to get a club venue or do something like that, go try to investigate your own spot.
Yeah. Independence is the best way to go. The most money I've ever made on a club wasn't when I was working at somebody else's club. It was my own shit. The liquor was mine. The door was mine. Everything was mine and my partners. And that's always the best way to go. It's never better to go to somebody else's sexy ass, gorgeous fucking space and collect chump change.
Right.
That's never the best idea.
Right. Now, going into the fun shit, the white party.
Yeah.
When was the first year that you threw the white party?
Shit, 19 years ago. Whatever the fuck that is.
It's been 19 years
19 years. This would have been the 19th, but it's the 18th because, of course, COVID. But 19 years ago, the first one was at Rise, which is now Beta. And we did it with a football player. It was his birthday. It was actually his idea. And he was like, yeah, let's do a white party. He was like, niggas ain't come on all white. Fuck out of here, man. This is a stupid ass idea. No, fuck it. We'll do it. Yeah, the thing is, we was cultivating, keeping that relationship with the boys, with the Bronco players. We needed them, and we wanted them to fuck with us. So they asked us to do this shit. Okay, sure. So we took it over to, at the time, Rise was like the most gorgeous club in the city. I had a good friendship with the general manager over there, so he said yes. I had just previously had Jay-Z over there after a concert. And he walked in for free. And
you met Jay-Z?
Oh, we've had Jay-Z in the room twice.
Jay-Z, my favorite rapper.
Me too.
That's crazy. So then you go to Rise.
We did about 150 people in that big ass spot. And this nigga who was hosting it wore a pink suit just so he could stand out. So, he ended up getting traded after that year.
Hell yeah, because why would you wear a pink suit for all white party? Get that nigga the fuck out of here.
He wanted to stand out, man. Like, that was his whole goal, and we had no idea.
Yeah.
Like, we had no clue. But, I mean, at that time, we was letting people wear any color jeans, just a white top type thing. So it wasn't that big a deal. But then we moved it from there to La Rumba for a couple years, then went over to Vinyl, then went down to the Gothic Theater. That's when when we got to the Gothic Theater, that's when shit started. That's when you was like, this is real. Yeah. Real deal for the city. That's about year 6, 7, one of them two. So we kept it there for like 3-4 years.
What outfit made y'all be like, look, check this out, we gotta stick to all white, y'all looking fucking crazy? It gotta be an outfit, because
I can tell you. Beta 2013, I think we had Kelly Rowland and Justin Bieber. And this motherfucker walked in with a denim jumpsuit on. Ball player dude. What's his name? He was a receiver. Big nigga, flat top. Can't remember his name, but walked in.
He must have been trash.
He was fire.
He was?
Yeah.
Then he came in
he walked in a blue jumpsuit. I'm talking about zipper from here to here with a black stripe down both sides of his chest and legs. And that's when we was like, yo, we can't do this no more. We gotta like really.
This nigga looks goofy as fuck.
Look at this motherfucker, man.
He got a onesie on his shit.
He got the best table in the, and this is, we had broke about 1,700 people that night. So everybody in the building got on all white except this one motherfucker. So that's when we was like, okay, let's be more detailed in the instructions and blah blah blah. I wish we didn't have to do that shit, but people like to try shit out. So. And the whole goal of the white party is for everybody to be the same for one night. It's not about any one person shining. You can shine in your creativity and your outfit and whatnot, but it's about all of us. That's why we book all the DJs. We book. We used to grab all the promoters, but that wasn't possible working with AEG as a partner this year. But it's about everybody being on the same vibe, same level, same color, same hood, same everything. For one fucking day. Just one. Ain't nobody compete. I remember when we started bringing the promoters in, they would talk about why is this motherfucker? It ain't none of your business why he's in it. If you think he's valuable in it, or if you think she's valuable in it, we all doing this together. because at the end of the day, the white party is bigger than any single one of us. Like,
period.
That party is definitely known. It's the biggest white party in the country.
Easy.
So, and we know this from other motherfuckers that have done white parties that come out here like, fuck.
Yeah, easy.
Like the ones at View House. Oh my God, bro. Like 50 Cent in the game will still be I can't see them being beat even by this one in the way that I felt. To watch 3,000 people run up in that fucking spot. And
was that the biggest capacity you had? So
far, yeah. And to not have a single fucking problem. Not one. It was truly representative of what the white party's truly about. Like all of us in there just fucking vibing. That's it.
Any of your people who consider you friends try to get away with the dress code policy, and you had to turn them away?
Not no more. That's they used to. Then they realized ain't no guest list for that bitch either. So this friendship shit don't count tonight.
How many people ask you to get in free for the white party every year?
Hundreds.
Find you got cousins that you ain't never knew about pop out of woodwork?
Cousins, bitches with crushes, fucking all kind of shit, man. Remember that favor you owe me? Nah, I don't remember that favor. But if I do owe you one, it's not tonight.
It's not gonna be on a white party.
No.
What would you be your white party? What artist would you want that you haven't worked with that you'd be like?
Oh my God, it's a list, bro. I wanted Megan. I made sure that we raised the budget up real nice to grab Megan. She was busy on a tour. She's actually performing that night, so she was unable, but we got a yes from her. But found out that she wasn't available. Lil Baby is coming soon. Couldn't get him. So we went through a lot of names that we could definitely afford in raising that budget up this year. But at the end of the day, like, I'm very, very happy with Wayne as the host. He's a GOAT.
He's the GOAT.
Like, he's before in any capacity. We've had him in the club a couple times. When he came out, he owned a sports agency. And one of the Nuggets was on his agency, so he came out for the playoffs. And Mac Main, who's CEO over there, good friend of ours. So we just hollered at Mac, and Mac brought him through.
And are you a part of all the shows the major shows that come out, or if they say anything that has 3 Deep on it, y'all are a part of?
Yes. If you see it posted on the 3 Deep page, Francois Alvin page, and my page, we're involved.
And is that in the capacity of promoting it, or is it in the capacity of y'all booking the talent, or no? I mean,
it depends. Sometimes they call us just to get advice about just the climate and what people are thinking and if this will work. Sometimes they call us to make a connection. We're being in the game for over 25 years, like, we're very connected. We all the numbers are still the same in the phone. Like, all the managers, typically conglomerate companies like Live Nation and AEG, they have to go through agents and whatnot, and there's protocols and unwritten rules and shit. That shit don't apply to us. We can call the homeboy, we can call the manager direct, we can call the artist direct, and kind of circumvent that process if necessary. So sometimes they utilize us for that, but typically it's for promo, outreach, big mouth.
Hell yeah! How do local artists get on any of the shows?
Become friends with somebody at AEG, or
that's it.
Yeah. I mean,
is there any managers or A&Rs in the city? Big John's from the city, correct?
Yeah, he is.
Because a lot of people from the town I hear say, like, we don't have no plugs or people in the industry that we can go to, and I'll be like, is Big John not from here?
No, he's definitely from here. But the thing is, you got to get on his radar. And I mean, imagine, in his position as an executive, like, he hears about everybody, but sometimes you got to, like, get hit in the chest by somebody. Like, you got to know, like, this is somebody different, and that's got to be a natural thing. So if Big John is looking for some local talent, I imagine, because I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I imagine it would need to be somebody that he finds truly, truly, truly talented that can And the talent is not just about the music they make. That's also about their ability to move tickets. So if move tickets, sell records, anything of that nature. But John, he does his thing over there, on the West Coast. I would say in the city, Adam is a very good asset to any artist. If you're an artist and you don't know Adam, then you got some work to do. I'd suggest going over to Cervantes, finding Adam, introducing yourself. Francois, that motherfucker has more phone numbers of gods in the game in his phone than any human being I know, including myself. He can call Diddy right now, and Diddy will answer. So he's special in that respect. Francois is very important to know. And I mean, I don't want to put myself in the boat. But I will say that our team, we respect artists that really get it done. Yeah.
What would you say for the young, aspiring person behind the scenes who is just like you, coming up, did the parties, want to get into like doing events out here? What advice would you give them before getting into this game?
To not stop, to keep like working at it, develop some duality in the way they communicate. Walk in the room, instead of talking about how many people you can bring, talk about how much money is going to come in with you. Change the perspective. What would you want to hear if you owned a club and somebody came in asking to get some of that money with you? What's necessary for you to say yes to that? I like to think of all of the clubs that we've ever worked as partners. My goal is to make sure that they're always happy. Because if they are, I am. That's automatic. I don't have to worry about my own happiness. It's almost like, pardon my French, but example, but it's almost like when you fucking a bitch. Like, I could sit here and put in all this work. What about me? So if I rely on her and she relies on me, it's perfect synergy. We don't have a problem. This is going to be the greatest relationship ever because she got me and I got her.
Right.
That's the same way we should approach working within nightlife, especially at venues that we do not own. Because at the end of the day, all that owner wants is the money. That's it. He didn't give a fuck. He doesn't care about shit else but the bread coming in. And the more bread that comes in, the more loyal he'll be. Because when the bread stops, loyalty go out the window too.
Hell yeah. Man, I appreciate you coming in. Yeah. Where can they find you? Is there any way that they can access you if they got any questions about anything?
Sure. Instagram's probably the best way now. Kevin _ Kain _ Kain is how you spell that. I don't really fuck around on Snapchat. That's a waste of time. There's a bunch of scammers and shit on that shit all day long. Facebook, Kevin Kain, Kain. I got a few pages on there. That's the easiest way. My number's Googleable as fuck too. So I answer the phone. So any question. And the thing is, I don't have no issue with like sharing information and knowledge and shit. Mm-hmm. Somebody didn't have an issue with sharing it with me. So anybody that wants to really get something done and really has like some serious questions and is serious about really trying to bust moves in nightlife, I'm always available.
Hell yeah. I seen something in All the Smoke that I wanted to start doing with all my guests. If there's one person that you feel like I should talk to that could possibly drop some gems for some up-and-coming people within the industry, who would you say that we need to speak to, and would you be able to help us get them on the show?
I got two. Mm-hmm. Trev Rich and Midas. I want to say K-Tone too, but K-Tone is like, he's accessible.
Yeah.
K-Tone is everywhere. This is his city. Straight up. Like, this is K-Tone town. But I would say Midas, just him as a man. Yeah, that's a fucking man.
Yeah.
You hear me? Like, that nigga, I admire him so much. And I know I'm not the only one. And then Trev, just his level of talent and his journey to where he got to today is amazing. It's amazing. And there's so many fucking stories. If the nigga don't sit down and write a book sometime soon, the nigga is not attractive at all. And just the attention of these bitches. Bro, listen. And that's the weeniest side of it I can talk about. Like, that's the, who cares about that part? But, oh my God. The shit that I've seen him grow from, and the person I've watched him grow into is so impressive, bro. So impressive. From being a kid that was sneaking in theory underage when I was doing Tuesday nights over there to, I mean, everybody's calling him. And that's not just street talk. Yeah. This is, I'm listening to this nigga play songs, and then 6 months later, it's on your favorite rapper's album. He's playing songs with his voice, writing them, and selling them to your favorite motherfucker.
And then buying them from him. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Listen, Trev is a true boss right now. He's
hell yeah. Well, man, I appreciate you. I'm going to get Midas and Trev Rich up here. I appreciate you so much, bro, for coming give me this game.
No, it's my pleasure.
I want to give you your flowers while you're here. Like I said, I look up to you. I try to base a lot of shit as far as, you know, how you do it. Your shit talk, all that shit. I like that shit. I'm with that shit. But I appreciate you again for giving me the opportunity.
It's nothing, man. Thank you.
Yes. Like I said, Street Nerds Radio, the #1 station in the streets. Make sure you tap in next week. We're gonna go up.
You're now tuned in to your mama's and your baby mama's favorite radio station.
It's that time.
Street Nerds Radio.
Hey, man.